just start this off with getting you to just tell me a little bit about your like musical history, sort of from when it started to sort of where you are now. Like if you could sort of sum that up in a bit of an answer for me, that would be perfect.
I kind of started, like, I've always been into creative things. Like, I started off drawing and doing graffiti.
Yeah.
And then I kind of got a bit in trouble with the law back in high school, and I started, like, my mom's had to pay my fines and stuff for all the tagging that I did and stuff like that. So it wasn't practical, like, it wasn't working out that much. And then so I was when I got injured from basketball, and I took like a season off, and then I just started writing rhymes and slowly getting into rapping kind of thing, like rhyming words and stuff like that. And then I kind of just had a passion for performing and like doing shows and stuff. But it wasn't until about 2 years ago when I started taking it more seriously and like doing it every day. Like, man, since I'm not doing basketball training, I need to start doing this if I want to take it seriously and just like sticking to it. And so yeah, I just kind of just stuck to it and still doing it to this day, and it's gotten me to a few cool places, see the whole country, doing what I love. Yeah, playing cool festivals and stuff like that. And so it's been real dope, man.
Sick.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome, man. So would you say that you've always sort of been into music even before you started, writing rhymes and all that? Were you sort of always into music?
Yeah, I was always into music. Like I think with everyone there, it starts with their parents or their family playing music in the house and stuff like that. So like, yeah, my mom's played a lot of like Sade, Earth, Wind and Fire, Isley Brothers, Marvin Gaye, and stuff like that. And yeah, it's just been around that and just listening to music and stuff like that. But I wasn't actually into rap. I was into like hardcore rock and stuff when I was like little. And then it wasn't until my cousin introduced me to like, yo, listen to this, and I was just like, oh, what is this, bro? What have I been missing out on this whole time? So like, I didn't actually get introduced to hip hop until I was about 10 or 11. But yeah, it just went from there, and I just found the love for that. So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's cool, dude. So what is it that you're doing with your time now, and what are you sort of doing music wise in the current day?
Like right now?
Yeah, well, sort of just like this year. What are you doing now?
So like I'm also in a group called Third Eye, and we dropped a EP earlier in the year. It's called the 3P, and that's been going pretty cool. We've been playing a few shows off that. I've also been doing a lot of solo work. At the moment, I'm working on an EP called Tales, and that's just like storytelling. It's the whole thing is conceptualized around telling stories from people that I know or experiences from other people, but in first person. And I've put it into a project based on stories from Avondale, so that's gonna I think it'll be released next year now. So yeah, just been working on that and just getting some videos out, just new music and just a lot of collaborations. Yeah.
Awesome. So like, what's sort of the next step for you? Where do you see yourself going in the next couple of years? Like, what are your sort of goals, aspirations?
I'm hoping to just go hard at this and like hopefully do a bit of traveling with it. I really want to, like, I haven't done much traveling, so I want to be able to travel doing what I love. That's kind of like my main goal, but also be sustainable with what I love as well. I think that's a real hard thing in New Zealand. In terms of like resources and funding for musicians, it's kind of really hard to get out there and do your thing. Like, everyone has to have a full-time job or part-time job just to do what they love, it shouldn't be like that. Yeah.
True. Okay, awesome. So like, what sort of advice could you give to, like someone in a similar situation to when you started doing music? Like, now you've progressed a bit and you've learned obviously a lot more about the industry and about how things work. What are some sort of pieces of advice you could give to like a younger version of yourself or someone in the same position?
I'd probably say just keep on doing it, man. Like, just act as if it's like your basketball training, or like, how you go to the gym every day, or like you eat every day. Make it a habit, make it something that you have to do, like, and just like, I reckon keep your sound, because with a lot of these new sounds coming out, like, everyone's like, oh man, I should be sounding like this because it's the latest thing out, or it's the most current sound out, when just like stick to your own sound and maybe just get bits and pieces from other genres and things that you think are current right now, but like just keep the core to yourself. Like yeah, man.
Definitely. So like, what is something that, what are some sort of struggles that you've had along your musical career, like that you didn't necessarily prepare for, or you weren't realized that you didn't realize were part and parcel of becoming a musician?
Probably being broke as fuck.
Yeah.
That's probably the main one, man. It's been quite hard, like, in terms of that. But I don't know. Just like everyone's like, what's it like being in the music industry and stuff like that? Like, it's real. The industry in New Zealand is really broad. I feel like, what is the music industry in New Zealand? You know what I mean? Like, some people think it's like all corporate and stuff, but like these days, if you have a camera, a microphone, and the dopest music, I reckon you can make it happen yourself. So yeah, man.
Sick. So, I take it that you sort of started working with Bass FM sometime along your journey? Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. Well, that's where I first met Angelo from Third Eye, was at Bass FM, just through a interview / little jam that we had up there. So yeah, that, and then like they've just been real supportive to like all artists locally. So it's kind of just like actually a base where you can just rock up and be like, yo, or like, hey, I'm dropping this, it'll be cool to come in for a little jam and an interview and a little talk to you. Like, they've always kind of been supportive, not just of me, but everyone in the scene. Yeah, I think it's where a lot of dope ass artists started. So yo.
So like, how would somebody approach these radio stations? You know, like how did you first get in touch with Bass FM? Like,
I was just some dude hollered at me and was like, yo, come to Bass FM. I had never heard of it before. I think I was like 18 or 19.
Yeah.
And then I rocked up. Oh, yeah, I was like, 20 or something. But yeah, I rocked up and it was just like, yo, this is cool, man. But I think, just to be honest, just like, don't even flick them an email, just rock up, because I think it's like open, you know, like it's not too exclusive. Just rock up and be like, hey, I'm an aspiring artist, I really want to try and get my music out there, like, can you just like have a listen? Or like, yeah, they'll be like, yeah, give us a listen. I reckon they will not turn you down. So it's worth a try, just rocking up and saying like, yo, I'm determined like in this music shit, like you should check me out. So yeah, I would have done that if I had the chance. Yeah,
definitely. So like, what are some sort of radio stations or places to go like this? Obviously there's Bass FM. What are some other ones?
I reckon BFM's a real good one too. It's a real good platform, because I think the frequency's all over Auckland and online worldwide as well. That's a really good platform, and that's at the uni too. So like, you can just rock up to reception and be like, hey, I got this demo, I really want you guys to hear. Or would it suit one of your shows, or could it be playlisted? Just like hustle. And also Rep FM is really good. I think they're based out south side, so like it's a really good platform too. You just flick them a Facebook message, or even go to their base too, HQ. I think Flat FM is another one. I'm not sure if it's out on the shore or if it's out west, but they're always keen to play some local stuff. And yeah.
Me?
My FM and Flavor too, but I think that's a harder process to like just be like, yo, I think they got a real kind of like,
yeah. So would you say like getting onto radio stations is quite a fundamental part of progressing as an artist, or like starting to build your audience, take those sort of first steps?
I don't think so. Like, it's cool when people are like, oh, yo, I heard your song on the radio, and I guess it can build a little bit of hype around that, but I think it's all got to do with the internet and the way you present yourself on the internet, man. Like, that, I reckon the reach is way more stronger than just like your song being played on the radio. Like, if people can see what you're about, and oh, this guy's actually funny, he's like, he doesn't just have good music, he's an actual cool person in real life, like on the internet, or like, so I think like online presence is a big one. Yeah.
So how have you gone about like building that online presence for yourself?
And saying that I'm not too like, I don't know, like I feel you have to be real witty in the things you say, and like like if you could post a song up and it could be a mean ass song and be like, yo, just drop this, and it'll probably get like 40 likes, and I could drop a photo of me like this, and be like, new song coming soon, or get like 200 likes, you know, like it's a hard one. I think it's the algorithms too, but it's I've tried to do some cool shit online, but I just thought, nah, fuck it, I'll just be myself and like just drop this and like try and think of cool ways to approach releasing music.
True.
And just keeping people engaged.
Yeah, it's like everything's sort of changing so fast nowadays, you know. The next like SoundCloud, the next Spotify is going to probably be popping up soon, and then all the dynamics are constantly changing.
Exactly.
Quite difficult to keep tabs on if you're not really in that scene.
Even I've noticed with Facebook events, like when I remember like 2 years ago I'd put an event on, and like 500 people would say they were going, and like 200 would rock up. And now it's like you put an event out and it's like 90 people are going, and then you get there and it's like 200 people, you know. So like the algorithms of social media is changing like drastically.
True. No, that's interesting. Real
interesting.
So I would imagine like when you first start out in the music industry, like networking's quite a big part. Like, who do you know? How are you going to get sort of your foot in the door? How did you go about dealing with the networking side of music? Did it come naturally to you, or was it something you learned along the way?
I kind of was always keen to like be around kind of like not important people, but necessary people. But it kind of did happen naturally. Like when Third Eye dropped their first EP, people like were like, oh, who are these dudes? These dudes are buzzy. And it kind of like boots a certain type of hype. And so then like blogs and promoters and radio station hosts and stuff like that started sliding up in our emails, and that's kind of like how it happened real organically, to be honest. But if I wasn't getting that buzz naturally, I'll definitely be hustling and just working real hard. So it either comes to me or I'll just come to them. You know what I mean? So
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, well, I would probably just want to ask you a question about what would you say your number one biggest strength and your number one biggest weakness is? Just like reflecting on yourself.
I think my biggest strength would be just being a people person, like, and a real social butterfly pause. Like I like being on the scene. I like going to gigs. I like hanging out with people. I like having a few drinks at art gallery, like, you know, at exhibitions or whatever. I always like being out there, and I think to people, they're like, oh, this he's a positive guy. He's got and I think I've got all good nature, like in public and stuff. And I like to think I'm good at rapping and performing and making songs and stuff, and so I hope people think that too. But one of my weaknesses will be just I'm a mad critique of my own work. So like I'll write like a certain amount of songs on something, and I'll like that for the first 2 weeks, and then if I don't drop it, it doesn't get dropped, kind of thing. So like I've got all these songs that I really like, that I used to like, and now I don't like them. So it's like, man, should I drop them? Oh man, no. Like, I think sometimes I'm too worried about what other people will think of my music, and like, if it flops, I'm feel like, oh, man, it sucks, like kind of thing. So I'm mad finicky about my own music.
True.
But yeah, I've gotten to the point where I'm just working on these certain songs and just gonna let them go so I can work on this new shit that I'm trying to get on. So yeah.
Man. So how do you sort of go about collaborating with other artists? You know, there's obviously people that everyone wants to work with. So how do you personally go about, you know, finding and then working with these people?
Well, a lot of them are just my friends. Like, that's the cool thing about New Zealand and Auckland especially, is like everyone on the scene is friends with each other. Like, everyone knows each other. Like, I could go to the studio in Ponsonby and catch up with Eno and Dirty, or like I could go over the shore and see what Rizzy's up to, you know? Like, it's not like if I'm in New York and they're in Atlanta, it would have to be some type of management being like, yo, the homie wants this for a 16 from you, how much, kind of thing. It's just real organic. You can be like, yo, up to on Facebook. They'll be like, Jack, like, yo, come over, kind of thing. And then it's like, boom, like, collabs just happen. So like, it's mad organic. But if I have people in particular I haven't met yet, I'll just hit them up on Facebook, or like yeah, just give them a holler. If they don't message me back, it's fine. Like, I don't get offended. If they say, "Oh, sorry, it's not me," I don't get offended. So, yeah.
Awesome. I actually wrote down some questions for you. I'll just have a quick look
at
them.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Yeah, because we basically just cut these interviews up and then we'll release snippets sort of thing. So
Sweet.
It's all real casual, eh?
Sick.
So what's your plans for the rest of the day?
I'm not working today, so I'll probably go home and make some music. I've got like I've had I've had writer's block for ages.
Yeah.
So I'm finally getting the motivation back, which is cool.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'll probably ask, what's your biggest piece of advice just for anyone at any stage of the music industry? Like earlier you mentioned like stay true to yourself, but like is there something else? Like another piece of
I definitely think it's hard work. Like for me myself, I've been slacking for a bit. Like I've been kind of having that self-doubt and being like, oh man, like what if it doesn't fall through? What am I gonna do? But that's why I've like chosen youth work and stuff like that I can oh shit, sorry bro.
No, it's all good, man.
Yeah, just like I've chosen like a plan. I've got a plan B if this doesn't work out, but I feel whether it does or not, I'll still be doing this for the rest of my life. So yeah.
So you would you say like just keeping that passion alive is really?
I think just having like the love for it. If the moment you stop disliking it, then you should stop doing it. You know what I mean? Like, there's been times where like I remember this dude that I went to primary school with. He was like his parents and stuff were dancers, and they had a dance studio, and he wanted to be a dancer and stuff like that. And then now he just does it, like he's sick of actually dancing. He just does it for money now. Like he just sells dance, if you know what I mean. Like whereas before it was a passion, like it was like something that he really loved and stuff. And I think he's just like strained that vessel so much that he's just like selling it. He doesn't even care about the passion of it anymore. But yeah, I just think just keep on like just work hard for it. Like when people going out drinking and stuff and like they're like, yo, you should come out. Like, there should be times where you're just like, oh no, I'm gonna chill and just like work on your craft or whatever it is you do. Because I think while you're doing that and they're out getting drunk and having fun, getting wasted, you're actually winning, and they're taking the L. So like, yeah. True.
No, that's good advice. Hey, like, there's a certain element of sacrifice to it. You know, you can't sort of have your cake and eat it too in a way.
Yeah, for sure. Like. The only times now I like going out is just when I have shows or like a special occasion or like, because I used to go out hard out and just drink and blah 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 whatever, but now it's just like I'd rather just stay home or like kick it with people that where we can create and we can both move forward instead of just staying stagnant.
Yeah, no, that's true, right? That's true.
But mind you, I do like going out, so. I am a bit of a hypocrite when I'm saying that, but like for other people,
So how would somebody go about sort of getting gigs? How does that sort of work from your experience?
Well, my first ever gig, I think I was like 17, and I just found out about this place called Kuja Lounge. It was on Upper Queen Street. It's gone now, but I found out about a couple of mutual friends that I had with this bro. They were throwing like hip hop nights there, and so I was like, yo, I've never had a gig, like how do I go about playing? And he's just like, oh, they want to meet up with them. And so I literally went to their crib and played played them 2 songs live that I was gonna do, and they were like, oh yo, this is dope. And then they were just like, yo, come through, we'll put you on the bill and stuff. And my first fee was like 2 beers. So it was just like just had like 2 beers, and that was our kind of like our pay for performing that night. And it was cool as
Awesome.
But I think just in terms of going about it, you can, if you think you have a good following and you think you can get people in the door and drinks at the bar getting sold, because I think that's how it works these days. I reckon just hit the venue up and be like, I want to do a show here. I can guarantee you 100 people in the door. I'll keep the door sales $10 at the door or whatever, and then they should hopefully, if they like think you're real, then they'll be like, yo, sweet, let's do it. And yeah, sometimes it can be like a higherage fee of like $200 or something like that. But as long as you can make sure you can guarantee breaking even, or then I reckon it's legit.
True.
Yeah, because like I was waiting around for ages to be like, oh man, someone gonna hit me up for a gig, or what's happening and stuff like that. And then it's like, yo, we can just start our own gig. We've got a big enough following where people actually want to come and watch us play, have a good time, positive vibes, no scraps and stuff like that. So why not? Yeah.
So you sort of think that gigs is probably one of the better ways to make money for a musician, like nowadays?
Yeah, for sure, man. Like, I got my biggest royalty check maybe like a couple months back, and it was like $400, and that was over like a year kind of thing. Whereas like you could put on your own show or like do a gig somewhere out of Auckland and get $500 or however much your fee is, you know what I mean? Like, so I think playing shows is the biggest at the moment, unless you've got a real big hit song, probably like the homie Kings. That Don't Worry About It, I reckon he's getting good money for that one song. So like it depends on who plays a song, and like if like I don't know, Air New Zealand might pick it up and put it on the plane where you like stuff like that, just like a TV ad, that's like good money right there. But I think the shows are the big ones. I think that's where you see the homies Catch a Fire and like the big reggae artists. They're always touring. Like they'll just finish like a Australian tour. They'll come home for like a month, chill with their family, do their thing there, and then like on another tour. Like if you look at their dates, it's crazy. It's like the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th have one day off, the 6th, 7th, 8th, and like so there's it's hard workers, but they're making good money from their shows. Yeah, man,
that's true. I think I'm pretty much come to the end of my questions, but cool, if there's anything else you want to say or talk about, is there anything you want to talk about?
No, I think in New Zealand especially, like it's a real positive atmosphere in terms of the music scene. Like everybody's supportive of each other, and there's not really much hate or negativity going on. And so it's real supportive. And so like if you're an aspiring artist and stuff, just like give it a go, and don't be afraid to just drop stuff. Like people aren't gonna be like, oh man, that was dumb, like kind of thing. Like it's all love. Well, I hope it is.
True. Awesome. Well, I think we can wrap it up there.
Cool.
Happy with that, man?
Safe.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for talking to me, Bronson.
Oh, good.
Really appreciate it.
Cool.
Cheers, dude.
Hey.